In today's episode of The Story of Animals, we dive into one of the ocean's most underestimated and prickly residents, the sea urchin. They may look like spiny little tumbleweeds of the sea, but these creatures are full of surprises. So fasten your snorkel and prepare to explore the fascinating world of sea urchins. At first glance, sea urchins look like the ocean's version of a cactus. Their spiky armor is their first line of defense, deterring hungry predators who might think twice before taking a bite. But those spines aren't just for show. They also help sea urchins move around like awkward little stilts and can even wedge them into crevices to avoid being swept away by waves. And yes, if you step on one, you'll remember it for the rest of your beach trip. But behind the sting, there's an incredibly complex animal. Beneath all those spines lies one of the oddest mouths in the animal kingdom, known as Aristotle's lantern. No, it's not a sea urchin-themed nightlight. This is a 5-part jaw mechanism that looks like a tiny, intricate piece of machinery. With it, sea urchins scrape algae off rocks, munch on kelp, and sometimes even drill tiny holes into hard surfaces. Imagine needing a miniature power tool just to grab a snack. That's the sea urchin's daily routine. Unlike us humans, with our clear left and right sides, sea urchins boast what's called radial symmetry. Their bodies are arranged like slices of a pie, radiating out from a central point. This means they don't have a front or back, left or right. They're equally prepared from every angle. A predator can't sneak up on them because technically they're always facing forward. Clever, right? Hidden among the spines are little tube feet powered by a unique hydraulic system known as the water vascular system. These tube feet are sticky, flexible, and surprisingly strong. They let sea urchins crawl, grip rocks, and even flip themselves upright if a wave rolls them over. And here's the fun part. Those tube feet double as their nose. Sea urchins don't have eyes or noses as we do, but their tube feet can sense chemicals in the water, essentially sniffing out food and danger. If you think a creature without eyes is doomed to stumble around blindly, think again. Sea urchins are living proof that Mother Nature loves to improvise. They can actually sense light with their entire body. Scientists discovered that the sea urchin's skin and spines contain light-sensitive cells, turning the whole animal into one giant eyeball. Imagine being able to see with your elbows, knees, and back. That's the sea urchin's reality. Sea urchins aren't just quirky oddballs. They play a vital role in marine ecosystems. By grazing on algae, they prevent seaweed from overgrowing and smothering coral reefs. In fact, when sea urchins disappear from an area, coral reefs can collapse under a blanket of algae. On the flip side, if sea urchin populations explode, thanks to the absence of predators like sea otters, they can devour entire kelp forests, leaving behind underwater wastelands called urchin barrens. They're like tiny gardeners who can either keep the ecosystem in balance or completely wreck the garden if left unchecked. Believe it or not, humans also have a keen interest in sea urchins. In some cuisines, their roe, often called uni, is considered a delicacy, described as creamy, briny, and even buttery. Of course, it's an acquired taste. One person's delicacy is another person's, "Why does this taste like the ocean punched me in the mouth?" Beyond food, scientists study sea urchins because their embryos are transparent, making them perfect for research into development and genetics. In fact, sea urchins have helped uncover secrets about how cells divide, so those spiky critters are indirectly teaching us about our own biology. When it comes to making more urchins, subtlety is not their style. They release eggs and sperm directly into the water, hoping the currents will do the matchmaking. A single female can produce millions of eggs, though only a fraction survive. The larvae that hatch are tiny, transparent, and nothing like the spiky adults. They drift with plankton before settling down and transforming into the armored pincushions we recognize. From their spiny armor and five-toothed lantern mouths to their role as ecosystem engineers and even delicacies on sushi menus, sea urchins are much more than prickly beach hazards. They're living proof that the ocean is full of surprises, with designs that seem both bizarre and brilliant at the same time. So the next time you spot one of these little sea hedgehogs, take a moment to appreciate the strange but vital role they play in the underwater world. Now, it's time to see how much you've learned from today's episode. We've got 3 fun trivia questions coming up. Ready? Let's start. Question 1. What is the name of the unique jaw mechanism sea urchins use to eat? The correct answer is B, Aristotle's lantern. This 5-part jaw structure is like a built-in power tool, allowing sea urchins to scrape algae and even bore holes into hard surfaces. Let's try another question. Question 2. How do sea urchins sense light without eyes? The correct answer is A. They use their spines and skin as light detectors. Sea urchins are essentially walking eyeballs with light-sensitive cells spread across their body. Let's move on to the last question for this episode. Question 3. What role do sea urchins play in marine ecosystems? The correct answer is B. They balance algae growth and protect coral reefs. By grazing on algae, sea urchins prevent it from overwhelming corals, but unchecked populations can also devastate kelp forests. Great job if you got all 3 questions correct. If you missed any, don't worry. You've just learned some fascinating facts about these spiky guardians of the sea. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.